For Best Music Coach, my name is Dan, and you're watching a music teacher's reaction live and in real time to the Mother 3 original soundtrack. Now, I've never heard this music before in my life. Not once, ever, never, ever. So everything I talk about, do, say, break down, teach, and play will be off the top of my head in the moment with no prior preparation or knowledge. Well, I mean, I have heard the Mother 1 and Mother 2 original soundtrack, and I will say, if there's gonna be anything like that, there's gonna be some fun jams, some bop and bops, some great tunes, and some weird sounds. So with no further ado, let's get this thing rocking and rolling. In other words, let's begin. Chat, give me a 1 or a 2 to make sure you can hear the audio coming through. We're doing a new audio routing thing today. I don't have too much to say from that first one other than it sounds very intro-ish. And let's keep going to see what happens next. Fun naming. Let's do this thing. Heh. Okay, so a pretty interesting chord progression. So basically the whole thing in the key of F major, we're going F, A minor, to B, to C. Now, what's really interesting to me at least is that there was that little extra section. Did everyone notice that little place where it was kind of like, where it's kind of just like floating? It wasn't really doing too much. It was just hanging out. There you go, a little bit more volume there. And so that chord right there is actually a really cool thing we can talk about. You may have heard that chord in funk music. You may have heard that chord in R&B music. Even Bruno Mars, when he was, he's been making a lot of songs that sound like sort of R&B from like the 80s and 90s. And that's the chord you can find in Bruno Mars songs. And so what that is that you take a major chord, and a major chord is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you take 1, 3, 5. But then you're gonna put 2 as the lowest note. Oh, what a beautiful sound. And you can hear the way it's used in this song is there's basically 2 parts. There's this part where everything's moving. And then there's this sort of section where everything's floating. And that's sure enough what this chord gives the effect of. Kind of floating. Nothing real big happening, just kind of hanging out down the street. The same old thing we did last week. Let's listen to the next one. It's called Welcome. And we may get a couple pauses here and there because, unfortunately, when I'm playing this off of YouTube, and when I have two YouTube windows open at the same time, sometimes YouTube gets grumpy and it gives me this little thing that says playback pause because your account is being used in another location. I'm like, yes, the browser next to the one that I'm currently in. But we're just going to go ahead and refresh. So I apologize in advance if we get any pauses. Here we go. Let's try this again. Can I make the game audio louder? Oh, yes, I can. Okay, so a couple of cool things here, and this is one of the things I love about these Mother soundtracks, that these small little snacks of songs. Now they're like full songs, they're little snacks. So you've got this whole thing. Now what's pretty cool is that typically you would think of, let's get a little bit more. There we go. So you think of this first chord as actually being a minor chord, like. You think of being minor, major, major, major. But what we actually heard a couple times, which was really cool in the songs, we actually heard that first chord being major. And then at the end, it did this really interesting thing. Going up by whole steps to A. Oh, A flat, excuse me. To B flat. Ending on E flat. So, which is like, okay. From a music theory perspective, it's like, what? It sounds cool. So look, then that last part is like F to G to A flat to B flat, and then B flat is now the 5, and we end on E flat. But what's really interesting and what may throw your ears is that we've already established this is being our home base. So then what happens is when we go, I think maybe it's going to end on a C, but it doesn't. It ends on an E flat. What an interesting little piece of music. Hey, by the way, I'm doing a little bit more chord breakdowns today. Let me know in the chat. Type a 1 if you're liking the chord breakdowns. Type a 2 if you'd like me to keep it more general. Okay, let's keep it going to the next one. Again, one in the chat if you're liking these chord breakdowns that I'm doing here today with the guitar. Type a 2 if you'd like me to keep it more general. I'd love to hear from you. Just your honest opinion will do. Okay. Oh, we've seen a lot of ones. Weirdness is both good. All right, cool. If you guys are enjoying it, honestly, I'm enjoying it. You know, I got out of the stream last week, which I played electric on, and I said to my girlfriend, I was like, oh my gosh, I enjoyed the stream so much more because I was playing my electric. I just, for whatever reason, I really enjoy playing electric more than I do acoustic. It's been that way my whole life. That's just a me thing. It's nothing against acoustic guitars or acoustic guitar players. Just like me some electric. All right, this next one is called Alec's Log House. Well, see, I thought I was going to get a break from the chord progressions because, you know, last week was Final Fantasy and Nobuo Uematsu rarely does the same thing twice. I thought I was going to get an easy break. I was like, just roll up in here. It'll be easy peasy. Apparently not. Give me a second and I'll grab this one for you guys too. All right, let's do this thing. Here we go. And that right there is fascinating. All right, and let me tell you why that's fascinating, that movement right there. Because, all right, we're in the key of E flat. Now, it's not going to sound exactly like the recording because they're actually playing a half step lower than I'm tuned, so they can actually play different chords, different shapes. But, look, so the whole thing is... basically, 2-5-1. Now what's really cool is where it does this, because this is a minor 4. So this is like what you would expect to be a minor 4-plagal cadence. Now, I'm going to break that down for you. So a lot of times in songs, and you've probably heard this before, let me play it with a clean sound. So we go... like, type a 1 in the chat if you feel like you've heard that before. So, type a 1. Again, if you feel like you've heard that before. Right. Okay, so you guys have heard that before. Now, what's really interesting is that instead of using this minor 4 to come back to 1, the composer then uses this minor 4 is now the new 2 of a new 2-5-1 to G flat. A really, really cool thing. So one of the fascinating things that composers will do is they'll fake you out. Because look, we're hanging out here in E flat land. You know? expect to go back to our sort of home base, that your ears go like, yeah, that works. But instead, a new 2-5-1. So that is really, really cool. All right, let's check out this next one. And just a quick shout out and a thank you to what might be a channel super chat record, Joseph Cortez. Thank you very much for your generous super chat. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so very much. This next one is called Mom's Hometown. See right there, starts with a 2-5 and then changes the note. A chord, excuse me. Clap. Okay, so let's actually talk about, because guys, I'm just having so much fun with these chords today. Let's break this down and talk about the chords. So look, it's like we're hanging out on C, that's like an E minor 7, and then what happened next? I actually forget what happened after that. Hang on one second. Let me go back, because I was because look, the second half of the thing was really cool, because it was just a bunch of secondary dominants. Which is so cool. So what that is we're taking the 5 of 6, go to 6, and the 5 of 5, go to 5, back to 1. That's a secondary dominant. It's where you take the dominant of a chord that already exists that you'd think would normally be there, and then it takes the dominant of that chord and gives it to you, but it's not really from the key. Ooh. Okay, but let's go through the actual chord progression of the. So, what's cool here too is like we can hear this sort of funky thing going on that we heard definitely in Mother 1. I think a little bit in Mother 2, and really keeping to the sort of spirit of what we've heard so far, or at least what I've heard so far. Excuse me, with Mother 1 and Mother 2. Ah, yeah. Right, so it's 2. So it's like 1, 3, 6. Was that 2? Yeah. Oh, also, something I wanted to talk about is, listen, I've heard like the soundtracks on like Game Boy Advance from let's see, Ace Attorney and things like that. And I will tell you that not only am I just amazed by the length and the duration of Mother 3's soundtrack, it's like really long, it's like 6 hours long, but to get these types of sounds, this whole section to me is just magic. Type a 2 in the chat if you can think of any track off of Ace Attorney or Pokemon or any of those Game Boy Advance games that sounds like this section right here. Type a 2 if you can think of a track that sounds like this. Because I'll tell you, I can't. I'm not saying I'm the video game music expert. Far from it. But I'm just saying that I played a lot of those games for a lot of hours when I was a child, and I do not ever remember there being any type of sound like that in any of the games. But that was many years ago, and I might not be remembering. So let me know in the chat. Type a 2 if you can think of anything that sounds like it. Oh, Fen says yes. All right, Fen, what you got? Fen in the chat at 11:39 a.m. Eastern Time says 2. The Guitar Assassin says 1.5. Fen, what you got? Tell us. Okay, well, Fen, go on. It's okay. Yeah, you can walk it down to 1.5, but tell us your theory, because I'm sure other people will know whatever you're going to talk about. And it's okay. If it's wrong, we will not hold it against you. I get things wrong sometimes, too. It's fine. Let's talk about it. And in the meantime, I'm going to go to the next one. Well, everyone, watch the chat for what Fen's answer is going to be. Not watch the fat for what Chen's answer is going to be. To be clear, watch the chat what Fen's answer is going to be. All right, let's check out this next one, which is called Save. Oh gosh, this is amazing. All right, so what's happening there? That's called chromatic, descending chromatically. And what that means is, if you actually look at these little metal bars on the guitar, you see I'm going down one metal bar at a time. And chromatic just means color. It's from Greek, and it basically means color, all the colors, which basically means all the notes. So chromatic means I'm playing all the notes. So the thing that's giving this its sound and its, well, feeling or its color is the fact that the chromatic scale is being used here. Again, chromatic, chroma means color. We say chromatic because it's like all the notes or all the colors that we would use in music. Apparently, if you're a mole cricket, that's what it sounds like. Is a mole cricket an actual thing, or is it just that someone created that for the game? Because like that sounds like a scientific name for like an actual cricket. Because we have camel crickets here. I live in Delaware in the United States, and there's camel crickets. People call them sprickets because they look like giant spider crickets. I'm just saying, there might be mole crickets. Maybe the mole crickets are digging under the house. Ah. Don't tell my girlfriend, she won't be able to sleep. Okay. Mole crickets are a real thing, says Kaj. Man, I'll tell you, my favorite part of this song is that fill. And I'll explain to you what a fill is. All right, so right there, that Phil Collins song, I can feel it coming out the air tonight. All right, that song right there, that's called a drum fill. So right here, this drum fill right here, I love it because it's just so deliciously, like maybe not 8-bit, but just those sort of like, just the sound of those toms, because those are supposed to mimic tom drums. Just delicious. Now let's talk about what's actually going on musically there. Musically, the whole song, the whole piece is basically just going back and forth between essentially what's an implied C minor or a C5 and a B flat major or a B5. So, I'm going to show you what like a kind of metal version of the song would sound like. I'll give it my best. We'll see what happens. Right. And so what's really fun is when songs are that simple, it's very easy for me to make something up with it. So, yeah, cool. Let's check out the next one. All right, and see, there's our one. Well, it's a minor 6 there. And so what we hear there, remember I talked before about the plagal cadence. That's exactly what we just heard there. C major to what essentially F minor. We're making it F minor 6 because that can sometimes be a little bit more tasteful when you go back between 1 and minor 4. It's definitely my favorite way. Oh, yes. So you have C major to F minor 6. Oh, how beautiful. All right, let's check out this next one. Tell you what, let's go to the next one. So look, that one had some really interesting things into it too. Like we also heard actually a playable cadence in there as well. It went to G minor. Oops. It changed that time. Okay. So look, what starts us off as sounding so like melancholy is because we have major 1. Look, I'll just play back and forth between these. And right there, we're establishing that this is home base. And typically, when we go to this note, we build a chord from it, it would sound like this. But no, here it's minor. Dun, dun, Shabba-dum-bum. And there's some pop song that uses this that I can't think of off the top of my head. But that right there is a very interesting thing. We're seeing so many cool, interesting little chord things in this soundtrack. Let's check out the next one. Just called As You Wish, Master. Plagal cadence again. Right. And so that whole song again was actually the same two chords as what we heard a couple songs ago. It was just C to that F minor 6. Same exact chords as what we heard a couple songs ago. So that's one of the things that can actually help you find connection and a similar feeling throughout a soundtrack is when you actually use the same chords but in different contexts, at different speeds, in different genres, if you will. Le genre. Eh ben oui, il faut utiliser notre genre. All right, let's have this next one, which is called A Letter to You, Honey. This one started off like the game over. Or was it the save? All right, so what's really cool about this chord progression, all right, so, I messed up that second chord, but I got everything else. Give me 1 second, I'll get that second chord. There we go. Now this. And then back to a 2-5, but not 2-5. Oh my gosh. So cool. So a couple things to point out to you that are really cool. So we at the start, we are going back and forth between C, D, and then B flat, C, D. And then, now check this out. We're walking it down essentially to D major 7, and then we go B minor, B minor, well, B minor major 7, kinda, over A, walk it down chromatically, and then instead of going to G here, we go to 2, 5, but no, it's not over, 3, 5 of 2, 2, how cool is that? How cool is that? I love it. All right. This next one. It's called Carrier Pigeon. Ha! You know what that sounds like? Because actually, after I did the first Mother reaction, I don't know if you know this, but on Switch, you can actually go play all the old games. I went and fired up the Switch. I got out my SNES control because I got the, the wireless controller. It's like the old SNES controller. I hooked it up to the Switch and I was like, all right, let's go. Let's go play Mother 1. Let's go play the first one. And that sounds to me like Mother 1. It's like the weird sound effects, the aliens are coming, all that good stuff. And here we go. Sure enough, this next one is called Mysterious Flying Object. A Mother 2 I was thinking of. And I tell you guys, I would stream, anytime I play the Switch, I would stream it to Twitch, but it's so dang complicated to stream that thing to Twitch. It's like you only ever see me playing Assassin's Creed and stuff on Twitch because I just have to press like 2 buttons when I sit down with my Xbox, and it's like I'm live, and it's like, So yeah, whenever I play Switch games, no one knows because it's not out there. So I see chat saying that was a major leitmotif there. All right, cool. We'll check it out. We'll look for it. This next one is called Logotype. Hey guys, I'm going to go back and listen to the song before this real quick. Groove with me here. Type a 3 in the chat, by the way, for Mother 3 if you're having a nice time on the stream. If you're watching this video on demand, let me know in the comments, type a 3. And anyone else who's typed a comment 3, go ahead and like their comment and comment 3 under it. Let's get a proliferation of 3s and replies of comments that are 3s. Both here live in the chat. And if you're watching this on demand, type a 3 in the comments. And if you see anyone else who's commented 3, go reply to their comment in the chat with the number 3. And let's see the longest 3 tail we can get going. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Huh. Yeah, so this logotype is kind of like, I guess that is the leitmotif. We just heard it in the previous one. Oh, and here we're getting it rock style. Oh, I almost got it. Hang on, let's do it one more time. Oh, no, come on, go back. Let's listen to Fire again. I almost got it. Kinda, sorta. I kinda, sorta got it. All right, hey, kinda, sorta. What are you doing, YouTube? Look. Whatever. Almost got it. All right, let's check out the next one. Oh, it's the sound of Siren. No, I didn't quite get it high, Max. It's close right there. Okay, so what is, hang on, I think I just skipped, I'm sorry. Look, every time I try and pause this, I'm sorry guys, every time I try and pause this, I end up hitting the wrong button because the YouTube buttons load from left to right. I'm just clicking the wrong place, so I'm sorry. So look, what's cool about that chord progression, and yes, I'm gonna keep playing with the wah. And then it goes to, not a D7. So typically you'd think, like, look, this kind of sounds like rock pop. But instead, they changed the second chord with this one note difference that all of a sudden turns it kind of jazzy. And indeed, in the song Song for My Father by Horace Silver, you can hear this same idea of chord progression, only 1/2 step higher. Excuse me. All right, this next one is called To Sunshine Forest. Sorry. Forgot about that part. All right, so what's really interesting there, and thanks for the pro tip about using K for pause, someone from chat, I'm sorry I didn't say. But look, what's really cool here, all right, so in the previous song, we had E minor to D7. This time we have E minor major 7, which I think we actually did also here in the previous song. Ooh, misterioso, mucho misterioso. Going to D major 7. Oh, hello there. Oh, and then we go... And then C to G major 7. Now we're going to turn it around with a 5 of 5. F going to a B sus chord. As you well know, when the chord is sus, it can only be one way. And then we unsus it. And then we're back to ooh, General Kenobi. Been coughing like General Grievous all week. And what's really interesting too is just the emotional change between this and this. It's like so much more floaty, so much more nebulous, if you will. The next one is called Forest Prayer Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Pretty sure I'm saying that right. Sanctuary. Let's check it out. No, well, okay. Isn't that James Bond chord? Not quite. Yes, okay. It is used at the end of James Bond. At the end of James Bond, it's actually with a, usually with a 9, is how the James Bond theme ends often. Is with a minor major 7, but add the 9, which makes it mucho misterioso. Okay. Forest Prayer Sanctuary. Let's check it out. Well, that was beautiful. Oh. What? On Game Boy Advanced? Oh, this is different from the Game Boy Advance. I was gonna say. Okay, so fortunately someone from chat checked myself before I wrecked myself there, because I was gonna say I could not believe, number one, the tabla drums, like that sample there, I've never heard on a Game Boy Advance game. I suppose perhaps all of this is on Game Boy? This is on Game Boy Advanced? Oh my gosh. And even the bass there sounds phenomenals. Phenomenals. It sounds so good. I'll listen to it again. Type a 4 in the chat if you're ready to listen to it again. Again, type a 4 in the chat if you are ready to listen to it again. Oh my goodness, I think we should listen to it again. You know what? I'm feeling dangerous. Let's do it again. All right, let's see if I can do it. Close. All right, let's check it out. This next one is enemy attacks. Well, fortunately, listen. If that's all the enemy is doing when it's attacking, is going. Fortunately, I don't feel too worried about it. All right, let's check it out. Ah! Well, I wonder if we're going to hear that song at the same bat time and on the same bat channel next week. Hey, by the way, hit like, subscribe, press that notification bell. Listen to the next one. It's called The Water's Great. The water's great, great, great. This next one's called Enter the Pigmasks. I won't ask. And right there, oh, let me get that last chord. What was it? Come on. Let me get that last chord. Well, we got that much of it. Hey guys, hey, do you mind if I play it one more time and I like jam over it? Because I was really enjoying that. Let's experiment. I haven't hit these pedals in a while. Let's see what this does. You guys are going nuts. That's not even me playing good, guys. That was me messing up. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see if I can find a good sound too on our way. We'll experiment with some sounds. Oh, I think I found it. All right, will you guys indulge me? Will you indulge me one more time? Will you indulge me one more time? Because I think I just found a thing. I just found a thing. I just found a thing. Oh, indulge me. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that was fun. Oh my gosh, I have so much more fun with electric. So much more fun. Oh, cool. I can definitely say. Oh, come on, Oregon. So really fun. Hey, real quick though, while I'm playing, I just want to show you guys I can make my electric sound like an acoustic. Check that out. James Bond. Oh, so cool. I forgot about that patch. I created that patch. It's a lot of fun. All right. This next one is called Gentle Rain. Not to be confused with Purple Rain. Through the years, who wrote that song? Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Kenny Rogers. Right here, this part. Remember this part. When I know that we were strong. Yeah. A beautiful, beautiful song. What I recommend, you remember that part what I said right here? Go listen to, I think his name's Kenny, like the guy who's saying No One Hold Moto, that's Kenny Rogers, right? Country singer. Go listen to his song Through the Years, and you will hear it's literally that melody. It's literally that melody. And this one is called Homely Yado Inn. This is like Satin Doll. What a fascinating chord progression too. All right, so it's like. Goes back and forth a couple times. So it's B, essentially, it's basically B minor, A minor, but I'm going to call it B minor 7 to A minor 7. Then it goes G major 7 to F major 7 to A to E 7 to A major 7 back to B minor 7. And what's really cool and interesting about this, when you have a mix between a major and a minor, the same chord, both major and minor present in the same chord progression or the same song, that, at least to me, is always interesting. That's something I love. And so basically what happens, right here, this second chord right here, this is an A minor 7. But when we come around, when we finish the chord progression, we go to an A major 7. And that's what's really cool there, is going back and forth and having it end. Sure, authentic cadence, 5 to 1, ending on an A major, and then going back to B minor 7, A minor 7. Pretty cool. I'm really loving this. This is Tora V4 says the chord progressions OC are so good, it's kind of what I want to go for when I start composing. Pretty cool. Sounds awesome. Another letter? Oh, Mummy dearest, you sent me another letter. I thank you ever so much. Dear Charles. Sorry. So there's an interesting thing. So the first time we heard this chord progression, the first letter we heard was in the key of D. Now we're hearing it. It's in the key of E flat. And, well, interesting that they didn't bring it back in the same. Maybe by changing the key, they're trying to tell you something in the story, or maybe the composer just wanted to do something different. I don't really know. All right, this next one is called, oh yeah. Yeah, so that right there, another cool chord progression you hear everywhere, which is going to be 1 to 4, And there's a couple different ways you can hear that. And it's really all about taking a minor 1 instead of going to a minor 4, which typically when you harmonize a minor scale, you'd have minor and then the 4 would be minor. But instead you turn to a dominant 7/9. That's really just like a funk thing. Or Santana. Oh, it come around. I'll find it. And it's like that chord progression that you hear everywhere. Not a lot in pop, but a lot in jazz, blues, funk, things like that. It's oye como va. But look, Spanish is not my strong suit. All right, this one is called Run My Dog, Run. I want to talk to someone in the chat said. They said, look, listening to this music makes me think how amazing it is that I managed to write a good song without knowing any music theory. Like, yeah. I talk about music theory and writing songs like building houses. Look, there was a time in history where people built houses without any tools. And like, they don't get, I mean, every once in a while someone would break their back, sure, but they built houses without any tools. And it's like, music theory is the tool for you to use to build songs. And the more tools you have, the more precise you can be with how you build your house. But you don't need tools to build a house. You just kind of go out there and like hammer in, you know, you get logs, make a mound of dirt. And by the way, I'm not saying your song's equivalent to a mound of dirt. Just to be clear, it's like, it is not a prerequisite to write a song that you understand music theory. Also, people who don't understand music theory might already know music theory, but because they don't understand music theory, they don't in fact understand the fact that they do actually understand music theory. I'll let you go rewind through that one if you need to. But like, the whole idea of someone being, yeah. And so the whole thing is that music theory is a tool. And the more tools you have, the more precise you can be, and the more choices you have around how you build songs, and the faster you will be in how you build songs as well. And people say, oh, look, well, music theory makes, I think if I learn music theory, I won't be creative. It's like, okay, by that same logic, you're saying that I'm going to create a melody. I'm going to write a melody. And because I know the fact that a melody's a melody, when I go to write the melody, the fact that I know a melody's a melody means I'm not going to be creative. A melody, the word melody, the fact that we're categorizing something as a melody is music theory. And so when people say, oh no, I don't want to learn music theory because it's going to stop me from being creative, that's completely false. You just haven't figured out how to use those rules yet in a way that is creative because you don't know the rules well enough. On top of that, some people say, hey, look, if I learn music theory, or some people say, look, I tried learning music theory and all of a sudden the songs I was writing, the compositions I was writing, oh, it all went downhill. And it's like, yeah, that tracks. That's actually accurate. And that should happen. And you want that to happen. Why? Because that's the way humans work. Check it out. Anytime you learn anything, oh, let's go before you learn anything. When you're writing songs, you're writing compositions, and you know a certain amount of music information, right? It's like you use all that perfectly. And you know how to use every single tool in your toolbox, and you use it. And then what happens is you learn a little piece of music theory. You learn a musical idea, and the song, the level of your songs, the output of your songs takes a dip. It takes a dive. And the reason it takes a dive is because you're having to think about this new music theory thing. And so what happens is a lot of people, they learn something in music theory, it takes a dip, and people get scared, and rightly so, by that dip, and they go, oh my gosh, I'm never touching music theory again. It made my songs worse. It's like, yeah, that's normal. If you're doing martial arts and you learn a new punch and you're focused on that punch, your footwork is going to get all messed up because you just focus on that punch. Anytime, it doesn't matter if you're music, martial arts, cooking, you're focused on something new, everything else, the quality is going to decrease. That's the way humans work. And then what happens is as you master that new idea, that is what takes you up to the next level, because then you're using it creatively like you're using all your other tools. So whenever you get to the place that you learn something new in music theory, you take that dip, push through that dip, keep on going, don't stop, because you're 2 inches away from striking gold. Keep going. That is what's going to take you to the next level. That's what's going to help you level up your songwriting, is by integrating new tools into your arsenal. It's like saying, oh yeah, I want to build a house, but I'm only going to use a saw. It's like, okay, you're going to hammer the nails using a saw? You're like, yes. It's like, okay, great. Well, it's going to take a lot of creative energy to figure out how to hammer in that nail using a saw instead of just understanding how to use a hammer. All right, let's check out this next one. You know, I'm so loving the sounds on this Game Boy Advance soundtrack, and I'm telling you, man, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the sounds were not that advanced in Ace Attorney, but maybe it's just been too long. Maybe it's just been too long. Chat, feel free to let me know when songs loop. That's a loop, I think, right there. Well, look, those are some interesting sounds. And beautiful art. And reminds me a lot of Mother One. A very interesting blues for sure. I think that's a loop there. Jack, can you confirm that? Until I turned the distortion on, I was playing it right. Look, that was a very interesting piece, and I think especially the interesting part was that whole bass line thing. So you heard the timpani playing, that was that big drum sound, along with the bass. The next one is called Confusion. So a really interesting chord progression because basically we're in the key of C, but it starts off with an F major 7 going to an E minor or E minor 7, back and forth. Only then does it go to 2, which is D minor, then to 5, then finally does it go to Juan. Not San Juan, but just Juan. All right. Mother 3, love theme. Ooh. Ah, thought it was gonna beep bop bop. Huh. That was so beautiful. So someone from chat was saying that they actually heard that melody in Deltron before, and I'll tell you, this entire stream, every time I've heard that, and I think we've heard that melody maybe 2, maybe 3 times, I kept thinking to myself, da ba dee da ba ba doo da da ba dee da ba ba da. No, there's a pop song. There's a pop song I've heard that uses that. Oh, if any of you know the pop song that I didn't just sing it right, So you got to really know the pop song because it's not going to be a one-to-one from what I just sang. But if you know the pop song that I just sang, let me know. So that sorry, wrong window. That chord progression right there is fascinating too. This is major 7 chords. Taking a major 7 chord, up a half step, back down, get a major 7, down a whole step, back. That's it. Next one is called In the Room. Man, this chord progression is going to be haunting me for the rest of the day. Oh, The Room. Oh, hi, Mark. I just got it. It took me a second. I did not. Oh, hi, Dan. Hey, for all you Star Wars fans out there who also like The Room, what's that guy's name? He made an entire Star Wars parody that's like 20 minutes long. You can find it on YouTube. It is one of the most amazing pieces of art I think I've ever seen in my life. So if you enjoyed The Room, again, I forget the name of the guy who made The Room, and you also like Star Wars, go watch that. No, seriously, Tommy Wiseau. Yeah, guys, if you like Star Wars and you enjoyed The Room, go watch Tommy Wiseau's Star Wars thing here on YouTube. It is literally the most insane video. It's incredible. It's incredible. Oh my gosh, it's like The Room, but it's Star Wars. Man, I'm just ready for that build up there, just drop into a straight like fire dance tune. Hey guys, we're gonna pick this up again next week. Please hit like, subscribe, press that notification bell, and I'll tell you, if you liked all the stuff I was talking about with music today, maybe you want to understand a little bit about music for yourself, and you want to create your own music, or you play an instrument or anything like that. I've got a Facebook group. It's all about learning music, and I just put the link in the chat. Go ahead and click that. I'm also going to put the look. We've got a long ways to go with this. We're gonna have so much fun with this stream. So make sure like, subscribe, crush the notification bell. And guys, if you want to learn about music, again, there you go. Oh, I'm gonna read some super chats. And thank you all so much for your support and coming to hang out with me during the stream. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me that I get to do this with you all. Silver Galaxia says, hey Dan, Mother 3 is one of my favorite soundtracks. I hope you enjoy it. Put this towards Kirby and the Forgotten Land. You got it, Silver. Weirdness Unfold says, fun tidbit about the game and the battles, you can get critical hits by timing your attacks along with the music. Really? So the battle music gets progressively more complex. So this goes to Zelda Twilight Princess. You got it, Weirdness. Thanks for the info there. Bex Lizard says, it's time to keep Final Fantasy VI near the top. You got it, Bex. Thank you for your support. Snow Kazoo Club for 9 months. Thank you for your membership. Thank you for your support. Weirdness Unfolds, member for 10 months. That is for crits. Each character has their own. Oh, really? That's cool. Weirdness Unfolds go on to say, check your Discord. Posted fun version of Fire. The channel does fun edits of game songs. Not this stream, music detection. It is a separate small stream to listen to it. Weirdness Unfolds, could you clarify what you mean and what you want your super chat for there? Manini Boy says, love your jam, and Dan, this one goes to Fire Emblem Fates. Thank you, Manini Boy. Thank you for your generous super chat. I feel like I missed some, because I know there was a... What's going on here? Chris, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Shattermelt says, great stream. Here's a parting gift. Put this towards Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And I know there was another, like, literal channel setting super chat. Why is that not showing up here? Let's see if I can find it in my chat. Ah, there it is. Joseph Cortez. Hey, Joseph Cortez. Joseph, can I just say thank you so much for your continued generous support of me and this channel. I really appreciate it. Joseph Cortez says, Ayo, put this towards the last spell. Also can't wait till you get to eventually listen to Disco Elysium. See ya. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you all so much for your super chats. Thank you for support. Thank you for hanging out with me. Like, subscribe, crush that notification bell. And go ahead. If you want to learn more about music, click that link I just put in the chat. Come hang out in my free Facebook group where we do free music lessons and things. All right, y'all. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. And goodbye.